Hello everyone, welcome to another Narc Survivor live video. In this one we have a very interesting topic. Do not argue with a narcissist, do this instead. Because a lot of you, and this is the worst part sometimes when you're dealing with a narcissist, is how they endlessly pull you into these arguments. And there's no understanding, there's no resolve. It just never ends and you keep going around in circles. And you could do that forever. It's not going to make a difference, and the reason why is because they don't want what you want. They do not want a mutual understanding. They don't want to cooperate with you towards anything positive or productive. They're not concerned about that. It doesn't matter to them. The only thing that matters to them is the fight. They want you to fight with them. They want you to react. They want you to oppose or resist them. Because as soon as you do that, you're giving them power. Then they have power over you. They're able to influence and control you. Even though you are not agreeing with them. Because the interesting thing is that when you oppose something, when you resist it, you're giving your power away, and that is when they have a lot of influence over you. That's when they're able to brainwash you. That's when you're under their control the most, is when you disagree with them. That's how they do it. And that's why I would like to teach you this in this video, of how you can get your power back. You can keep your power. And the way that you're going to do that, it's quite simple actually. You're just going to do the opposite of what you've been doing up until now. Because clearly what you've been doing up until now has been working, and that is why you're watching this video. So all you've got to do is do the opposite. Because when they say or do things that you don't like, things that you don't approve of, they're trying to irritate you, they're trying to get under your skin, they're trying to get a reaction out of you, because then they have power over you. If they can get you to react. So instead, don't react. When they say something, even though it might irritate you, all you've got to do is agree with them. Just act like you're on the same page, and yeah, you may be angry, but don't show your anger. Don't show any hatred towards them for their ideas or opinions. Instead, just agree with it, and you don't have to agree with it deep down in your heart. You're just showing them that on the outside. It's almost like you're creating this false character of your own, and you're giving that to them. And when you do that, you're practicing acceptance. You're not trying to fight it. So you are essentially neutralizing their attack. Because they can't attack you unless you're defending something. If you're not even trying to defend it, then there's no purpose in them attacking you. So it neutralizes their attack. It stops them. And when that happens, they may not even know how to respond. But it must make you aware as well, because this is how some of the more smarter narcissists, they will use this to trick you. Because even though they may say something or do something, and it might be wrong, it might be disapproved of, And then for you, you want to neutralize it, so you agree with them. But then when you do that, some of the more smarter narcissists, they will just stand back and deny any involvement. And then they will point the finger at you, they will shift the blame onto you and hold you accountable. And then they may even use that to expose you. They might even try to record you on their phone. And they'll use it to frame you. So you do need to be aware of that as well, because that can happen. And I don't want you to get into trouble with that. But at the same time, when you're arguing with a narcissist, it is most effective. It's more effective than anything else. I mean, you could just smile and say nothing, but then they're not getting any response from you. So they might just push you even more because they want you to respond. But if you respond to them in a more positive way, as though you're not really bothered, then they'll see that they can't get to you. It doesn't bother you. But even then, it's not going to solve anything. You need to accept that there is no winning with a narcissist. There's just not. It's like two people rowing a boat in opposite directions. It's not going to go anywhere, because you're not on the same page, and you never will be. You're not working towards a common goal. They have their own personal needs outside of you, and actually outside of anyone else. While you may be thinking about whether it's a friendship, a relationship, a business, whatever it is, you're thinking about what's going to be best for the both of you, for the people around you. But they are not thinking like that. And that is why there is no winning with a narcissist, and I must make that clear. And that is not the goal or objective of this video. It's not about that. This is about you protecting your energy. Because when you're around a narcissist, that is all you can really do. You must protect your energy by not letting them get to you. And to do that, all you have to do, as I said, is just agree with them. Don't let them get to you. Don't let them get under your skin. That is how you will neutralize their attack. Because it is an attack. And it is designed to make you become defensive. It is designed to make you oppose or resist. Because as soon as you do that, you are giving them your energy. You're giving your power away. And I don't want you to do that. I want you to keep your energy, your power, so that you can use it for something more productive. Instead of just wasting your time arguing with someone who quite honestly doesn't even care anyway. They're just using an argument to get a reaction out of you. The things that they're arguing about, they're not even concerned about that. It doesn't even matter to them. They're just using it to get energy from you. That's the only purpose of it. And yet many of you take these arguments so seriously, as though they have a genuine concern, as though they're really worried about something, and they want you to take action. They want you to do something about it. You should know by now, but the amount of arguments you've had with them, no matter how much you try to understand them, no matter how much you listen, it's not going to make a difference. It's not going to change anything. It's just not, because they're not even concerned about it. And you should start to notice a pattern as well. I mean, these arguments, they're always at the least desirable time for you. Whether it's first thing in the morning, just before you go out to work, or last thing at night when you're trying to sleep. These are all coordinated and deliberate efforts to get under your skin, to suck the energy out of you. It's never at an arranged time where they direct with you and they're like, this is what is wrong, you did this wrong, I'm not happy with this, let's talk about it at this time, all you have to do is this. It's never like that. They're always so emotional. They're pushing these emotions onto you, and it feels so heavy. It's weighing you down. I've said before, however you feel after dealing with a narcissist, that's exactly how they wanted you to feel. They wanted you to feel like that. The argument is just a disguise for what they're really trying to do. Because if they were really concerned about these things, then they would approach it in a more sensible and mature manner. They would. Instead of the way that they do it, where it's just arguments and fights, getting you in a defensive position where you're giving your energy away. That's all you should need to know that someone does not care about whatever the issue is at hand. Because if they did, they would deal with it properly. They wouldn't deal with it in such an immature way. And that is why when they come to you with these stupid arguments, and they're acting like they're requiring your assistance or whatever it is, you need to stop taking it so seriously, because they already know what you're like. Many of you, they know you're an empath. You're a person who you care so much. All you want to do is make them happy. You just want to understand them, and you want them to understand you. Yes, they know that. Of course they know that. That's the whole point of the argument. It's because they know that you care. If they honestly believe that you didn't care, they wouldn't waste any time with you. How can you get any energy from someone who doesn't give a shit? You can't. You can't get blood from a stone. So the power that they drain out of you, the energy, the attention, the validation, all of these things stem from one factor. And that is the fact that you give a shit. You care. And if you weren't so concerned about them and whatever issues they're dealing with, whatever problem they have, if you weren't so concerned about that, you would not be a good source of supply for them. They wouldn't be able to get anything out of you. So this message is for you. To stop giving your power away to someone who doesn't even care. They are not meant to have power. They are not meant to be in this authoritative position over you. They're not meant to have that. You've only got to look back to see what they've done with the power that you have given to them. They've always misused it. They've used it for the wrong purpose. They've used it to mistreat you. And that is why you need to keep that power for yourself instead of giving it away. And you can do that by practicing acceptance. Don't waste your time opposing or resisting their argument, trying to disagree with them. That's not going to work. It's exactly what they want you to do. That's how they get your energy, your attention, your validation, your power. And you need to keep that power to yourself, because unlike them, you are going to use it for the right purpose. You're going to use it for something more positive and productive. And that is what I want you to do. Sometimes you've just got to match people's energy. It's no good when they come into you with these arguments and you care so much. You're doing everything you can to understand. You're doing everything you can to try to fix the issue. You are wasting your time, because there is no problem that needs to be fixed. And even if miraculously somehow you manage to fix the issue, that's when you would realize the true problem. Because the true problem is that there is no issue at all. There is nothing for you to fix. They invent an issue because they like it. They're quite comfortable with it. They prefer a dysfunctional environment. It's more familiar to them. It's what they're used to. They hate functionality. They hate that. But they will give you a problem and then they'll step back because they just love to see you try to fix it. They love it to see how much you care, how much you're willing to try, how you're willing to jump through hoops in order to please them. Yeah, they love to see that. But no matter how much you do, no matter how much you try, they're just going to move the goalposts. The closer you get, they're just going to move it away further from you. Because even if there was an issue, they would never want it to be resolved. That would ruin the fun. How are they going to get any power then? How are they going to get your attention if there's no reason or excuse for them to do that? So that's the whole point. That's why they invent these arguments. They are doing it for a reason. And usually it's not because there's actually a problem. It's because they just enjoy the chaos. That's fun for them. They like it. And That is why I want to put this message out for you, because you've been targeted for a reason by this narcissist, and the number one reason why, it's because you care, and they know you care. So it's very easy for them to get to you, to irritate you, to get you to react. I mean, it's obvious. You just got to think, why did they target me? Why did they target someone else? Someone who doesn't give a shit? Because there are plenty of people like that around. So why did they target you? That's the number one reason. That's the number one requirement to be a narcissist source of supply. If there's one quality, one trait that you need to have, that is it. You don't need to have anything else. That is the number one thing they look for. And I'm not saying that's always a bad thing. I mean, of course, normal people, we want someone who cares. But why do we want that? It's so we can work as a team, we can build something together. You can build a future with someone like that. But narcissists, no. They target like people like that so they can mistreat them, so they can misuse them and abuse them. That's why they do that. They're not doing it for any other reason. It's just for supply. It's not to build anything productive. And yet they come to you with these arguments. And that's the sickest part about it. They pretend like they actually care. They pretend like they actually care, while knowing full well that they only care about themselves. And when you look back at the arguments and how, no matter how cooperative and understanding you were with them, it never made a difference, it never got resolved. That should tell you everything you need to know. It should tell you everything you need to know. Because they're never thinking about anything more positive. It's always negative, pessimistic, defeatist. It's always low vibrational, non-productive. It's always just to lure you into another argument that's just going to go round in circles. It's never going to get anywhere. It's never going to result in anything good. And you will have noticed that any time that you argued with them, you invested your time and energy into it, you try to understand where they're coming from. Where did that get you? Where did that get you? I bet it didn't get you anywhere. You just got stuck in another argument that lasted for hours. And then what happened? You got tired, you were drained of your energy. Arguments with narcissists, they never result in anything good. Because all they want is to win. They don't care about if they're right or wrong. They don't care about the actual problem. And even if you manage to solve this problem, if it even exists, that's when you would realize the true problem, which is then that there is no problem at all. Because they like it, they prefer dysfunctionality. And that is the actual problem. That's what they don't want you to know. But the evidence is everywhere. You can clearly see it by how they choose to behave. That's how you should know. And it is you who is trying to make things right. It is you who is constantly trying to understand them. You're jumping through hoops, trying to see where they are coming from, and if they are requesting your assistance, you're trying to give it to them, whatever they want, but they're never satisfied. It's never good enough for them. They always want more. They're never happy because they don't want to be happy. They can't be happy because the problem still exists inside of them. And that is something that you cannot fix. That's for them to fix. You can't do anything about that. So, this is my message to you, to not even try. Just stop trying. Because you should know by now that you are wasting your time. Don't oppose their arguments. Don't resist it. Instead, you should just go ahead and agree with it. As long as they're not waiting to record you on their phone so that they can use it as evidence as why you're a bad person or you're wrong. Just agree with it. Just say, yes, okay, you're right. A lot of them won't even know how to respond to that. Because the whole point is that they are studying you to find out what you don't like, what you don't agree with, and then they're using that against you. That's what they do. And when you just agree with it, you don't oppose it, it catches them off guard. They don't know how to deal with that. Everything they do is just designed to make you resist, to push you down, to make you feel small, to make you feel like you're wrong, so that they can feel like they're winning. That's all they want. They just want to feel like they're winning. They want to feel like they're right at your expense. But they don't actually care about what is right, what is good. They're very good at making you think that they do, but they actually don't. They don't care about that at all. If they did that, they would have done the right thing a long time ago. Instead of just coming to you with all of these arguments. I mean, you must think there must be something better they could do with their time. Something more positive and uplifting. But no, they don't want to do that. They don't want to do that. You for everything. That's their main objective. Just to make you feel like something is wrong with you, so then they can feel like they're right. Because as I said, whatever argument they're bringing to you, they don't actually care about it. All they care about is feeling like they're right. Because the reality is that whatever the argument, they are actually very insecure about it. Deep down, many of them, they already know that they're wrong. That's the whole point of the argument. It's to convince you that you're wrong so that it reflects back to them that they are right. That's the whole point of it. Because that's the thing. If you are confident in yourself and you're confident in your own beliefs, you don't need to prove anything to anyone. You don't need to do that because you already know that you're right. But with these narcissists, you have these arguments with them, and it's not something you just talk for a couple of minutes and then it gets resolved like normal people. No, these are arguments that go on for hours. It goes on all night. And the reason why is because they are very insecure. It's because deep down they already know that they're wrong, but they don't want to be wrong. So it's all about convincing you, proving to you that you're wrong, so that they can feel like they're right. That's all that it is. That's all that it is. And yeah, I just want you to know that. Because I know many of you, I mean, from my own experiences with narcissists, it's horrible. These arguments, you're arguing with them for hours, and you just want to be left alone in the end, because you know at some point you realize it doesn't matter what I say. It doesn't matter how I try to convey it, what words I use. You can make every possible effort to get them to understand. They're not going to be able to hear it. They're just not. That's the point. That's the point of the disorder, is that you can't get through to them. The only thing that really goes on in their minds is, how can I get to this person? How can I irritate them? How can I keep them off balance so that I can then suck the life out of them? And then it will fuel me and make me feel better. That's all that's going on in their heads. And yet we treat them like real people. We think, no, this is a person who has genuine concerns. They actually care. They want to make things better. No, they don't. And that is why they never understand, and they never let you feel like you understand them, and nothing ever gets resolved. That's why. Oh, got a mosquito coming in here now. Yeah, that's why. Because they actually don't care about anything but themselves. All they're ever thinking about is how they can get to you, irritate you, make arguments. That's all they really want from you. That's the whole point of narcissists. Sorry, people are saying they can't hear me. It's connected to the car, but I have to get out because... Yeah, it's connected to the car. I have to get out because this mosquito It's flying in front of me. It's still here, actually. I'm going to try and continue the video the best that I can. But yeah, that's really all they're concerned about. Many of you, you take them so seriously. That's the problem. And that's how they get you. That's how they get your energy. Because you're taking them seriously. While they're acting a fool, they're acting crazy. And then that's how they have the power. Because you're the serious one. You're looking at it like, oh no, there's a problem. You're not happy about something. What can I do? How can I make you happy? How can I make things better? You're looking at it like that. And they're sitting back thinking, oh, look at this idiot. He's doing everything he can to make things right. That's what they're thinking. So you're the serious one. You're taking everything so seriously as though they want what you want. Because if you're an empath, you just want things to be resolved. You want peace. But they don't want that. That does nothing for them. They hate peace. They cannot survive in a peaceful environment. It drives them nuts. That's why whenever something's peaceful, they always have to do something. They always have to irritate you. They can't deal with that. So that's why I say for you to just agree with them, practice acceptance. Because if they're acting like fools and you're taking the situation so seriously, then you're just giving all of your power away to something that is not even serious, something that doesn't even matter to them. And that's why I don't want you to do that. And you can get to that point by just recognizing that this person is not concerned about anything. They're really not. They're not concerned about anything but themselves. That's the truth. What's going on in their minds in these arguments when you're thinking, this mosquito's flying all over me. What's going on in their minds when you're having these arguments and you're thinking to yourself, okay, they're not happy. There's a problem. What can I do to make it right? What do I have to do? And you try to listen to them and understand them. But the reason why nothing ever gets resolved is because they're not thinking like that in their minds. If they were thinking the exact same as you, it's like you're both on a boat, you're rowing in the same direction. Eventually, you're going to get somewhere. But with a narcissist, the reason why it's just constant conflict is because when you're thinking, how can I understand them? What do they want? How can I make things right? How can I make them happy? How can I resolve the problem? All they're thinking in their minds is, how can I wind this person up even more? How can I irritate them? How can I get to them? That's why nothing ever gets resolved, because they like it. They enjoy the dysfunctionality. That's why. And that's why it's a waste of time having an argument with them. It's not going to go anywhere. You are wasting your time. So just agree with them, practice acceptance, and then you can keep your energy, your power. It will be much better for you. But yeah, I do have to go. There are a lot of mosquitoes here. Right now, I'm kind of tied to the car. I can't really get out because the sound is coming through the car as well. So I would like to stay on you a little longer if I could. I think that's enough for this video. I think that's enough for you to know about how you can deal with these mindless arguments, because that's exactly what they are. They never go anywhere. They just go round in circles. There's no purpose to them other than just to wind you up so that they can steal your power, your energy, your attention, because that's all they're trying to do. There's no other purpose to it. And I need you to know that. You need to be aware of it. Because once you're aware of that, then you can keep your energy for something more productive, something that is going to benefit you, instead of you just feeling drained and lifeless every day because you're having these meaningless arguments with someone who quite honestly doesn't give a shit about anything. They really don't. I'm sorry to say that, but it's true. And I wish I could say something else. I wish I could say that, no, you just have to say this and then they'll understand. Then things will be okay. I don't like to see anyone as a lost cause. I really don't. But honestly, that is the truth. You're never going to get them to understand. They're never going to cooperate with you in the way that you would like. They're not, because they don't care about that. They don't want that. They don't want peace. They don't want functionality. It does nothing for them. I'm sorry to say that, but that is the truth. And you need to take away your hope that they're ever going to change, because they're not. They like their disorder. They enjoy the arguments. They like that, so why would they ever want it to change? So as far as they're concerned, they just want the arguments to keep on going. They want there to be problems. They will invent problems. And no matter what you do, you could try to fix everything. It doesn't make a difference. They'll always find something wrong. Because they need for something to be wrong. That's how they function. Because then they can use it to make themselves feel better at your expense. So yeah, that's it. Instead of arguing with them, that's all you have to do. Just accept it. Don't fight it. Don't oppose it. Don't resist it. Give into it. Agree with it. Let it go. Walk away. I mean, that's really the best thing to do, is to just walk away. You have to accept that they don't change. They are a lost cause. They're going to be like that until the day they die, and there's nothing you can do about it. On a more positive note, we can change. We can become better by developing our self-awareness, introspection, accountability. These things will make us better and greater. So yeah, instead of arguing with them, just self-reflect and see what you can do for yourself to protect your energy and use it for something more productive. That's what I advise for you to do. But yeah, that's it for this video. I'd just like to thank you all for joining me tonight or today, depending on where you are. We've got 146 live viewers, only 56 thumbs ups. If this video has been helpful for you, please give it a thumbs up down below. I really appreciate it. It helps to support our community. And let me know your thoughts down in the comment section. Let me know if you've recently had any arguments with a narcissist, and try this out as well. Let me know how you get on. Share the video, subscribe for one-on-one coaching sessions. You can go to my website. It is narcsurvivor.co.uk, and check out my Instagram as well. I've got new pictures and videos of my travels every day on there. It is Narc Survivor YouTube and Instagram. All right, thank you all for joining me, and you all have a great day or night, depending on where you are, and I will talk to you soon.